วัสดีครับยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่อาคารสาราไทยครับ
G'day mate, welcome to the Australian Pavilion.
Hello, ni hao. Welcome to the Singapore Pavilion.
For 150 years, the World Expo has been the Olympics of science, technology and economies. With more than 190 countries participating in this year's Shanghai World Expo, it's the largest and most expensive held to date. 70 million. That's the number of people expected to come here to the World Expo 2010. And judging by the throngs of people around me, I wouldn't be surprised if we've hit that number and more. It's a once-in-a-5 years opportunity for countries to display their best to the world. So join me as I discover Singapore's urban symphony in Shanghai. Located alongside its Asian neighbours, the Singapore Pavilion is an eye-catching piece of art. Designed to look like a musical box, the building's facade is fashioned out of recyclable materials. And in line with its environmental theme, the pavilion is kept cool by only natural ventilation and open spaces. To tell me more, I meet up with the pavilion's head honcho, CK, who's been on board since day one of inception. So CK, what are the key messages the Singapore Pavilion is trying to send out to visitors?
Well, our theme of the pavilion is Urban Symphony. So we really want to show the balance, showcase the balance of that Singapore has achieved, you know, balancing economic progress with sustainability, balancing the modern and the traditional, and also, of course, you know, the balance and the racial harmony in Singapore.
It's 9 a.m., half an hour before the pavilion's daily opening, and these Singaporean student volunteers are getting prepared for their day. Some of them are currently studying in China, while others, like Duat Ting, have flown in all the way from home.
So this is our metronome exhibit. It's my favorite exhibit of the whole exhibition.
Flavors of Singapore is about food, is
yes,
it?
Yes, love food, because I love food, that's why.
Okay, how does it work?
Okay, so we have 4 drums in front of you here.
Okay.
And then what we need to do is four people need to tap on the drums in the same rhythm to get the pictures out on the wall. You want to have a try? There you go.
Oh, the display is actually many bowls. Through this rhythmic coordination exercise, visitors can appreciate how the harmonious beats of Singapore society have harvested the nation's achievements.
It's like a fan over here.
Oh, okay.
They use the white side of the fan to pick out the images on the floor. You see? These images, right, they showcase some of the sights and sceneries in Singapore. And then this fan is to let them have a clearer look at the pictures. And then over here, we're talking about the sustainability story of Singapore.
So what made you decide to come here to be a volunteer?
This is the first time that Singapore is participating in an expo in such a big scale. So definitely I want to be a part of it if I can, and coincides with my school break. So, well, it's a very great opportunity for me to be able to do my part for the country.
And as Duat Ting and I were venturing to the other exhibits, I heard a familiar Singaporean accent. This is 74-year-old Andrew Tan. It's his second time at the Shanghai Expo, but his maiden homage to the Singapore Pavilion. So what do you think of the exhibit now that you've finally gotten in to see it?
It's very amazing. It was a very surprise that we really promote ourselves to show the Chinese people that how good we have in Singapore.
And it was not just Singaporeans who were impressed by the exhibits. Chinese visitors from all over the country were given new looks and insights into the island state.
我觉得新加坡那些高科技啊，这些节能技术，特别像现在中国特别提倡那个低碳生活嘛，我觉得这方面是很多可以向新加坡来学习的。
新加坡的变化很大，我的爷爷曾经就在新加坡，想象的时候是很荒凉的，因为我爷爷他曾经给我讲过，现在看到这个非常美好，城市的变化很美好。
And just outside the pavilion, a loud commotion was gathering curious onlookers. This troupe of dancers is part of a daily performance at the pavilion's fountain area. Their exhilarating water dance is a crowd favorite, especially in Shanghai's summer heat.
One of the audience came up to us and said that I didn't know Singapore has so much creative energy and vibrancy. So that's when we decided, okay, for this piece specifically, we want to create that energy, we want to showcase that Singapore is urban, it's creative, it's dynamic and youthful.
You know, it looks so fun. I wish I could join in the dance. Not
Would you go and try out a piece? We have a piece, okay, we're not going to get you so wet. We have a piece on stage.
Okay. Promise it's going to be easy, yeah?
Yeah, and for you, it'll be easy.
Eddie? Hi.
Hey, man. How are you?
Pretty good. I understand you're supposed to be my dance instructor.
I am.
Okay.
So, 1, 2,
Eddie
3.
teaches me some simple jogging steps and movements since I've been tasked to perform the role of the Peranakan dancer.
Another piece.
Okay.
Yeah, 7.
Okay.
All right?
I thought it was supposed to be easy.
It's the season finale, and our foreign hosts are out to celebrate. They learn how to make mooncakes from a master. In the spirit of Hari Raya, they run for the best bargains.
Pineapple tarts, you've won the right on TV, yeah?
And they end the night trying to make people laugh.
I'm from New Zealand, so apologies if my joke's a little bit sheepish.
Don't miss us from the final episode of Singapore Discovered.
Saturday, 8:30 p.m.
This series is brought to you by SingaporeKopitiam.sg, your online guide to living local.
When I cook, I feel like I'm an abstract artist. The ingredients are my colors, the food becomes my art. And I'm passionate about what I do.
Cooking, I feel almost like a rock star. Jamming with my boys on the stage and walk it out. So this is how I feel when I'm in the kitchen with the boys, and it makes me feel very good.
When I'm cooking, I feel almost like an F1 driver. But because of speed and the precision, and it gives me a rush.
They are part of the Perfect Meal Asia.
This program is proudly brought to you by Mila.
Cancer is a terrible ordeal, but with today's remarkable medical developments, patients are presented with better options to cope with the disease.
The medical landscape has become very exciting with many different prospects and options that we can offer our patients, be it this in the form of keyhole surgery, robotic surgery, different drugs, radiation techniques.
Join a panel of specialists as they reveal the latest advancements in treatments for breast cancer, rectal cancer, and lung cancer. Plus, get an insight into cancer clinical trials. Learn about the best treatments available and get expert advice on winning against cancer. A seminar happening on Saturday, 28th August at the Suntec Convention Centre Theatre. For more details, log on to channelnewsasia.com/seminar. Brought to you by the National University Cancer Institute, Singapore. Supported by, organised by Channel News Asia, and supported by Vispro.
Kueh pie tea and laksa is like I never left Singapore. Well, Singapore is known the world over as a food haven, so what better way to let people get to know our country than through the stomach?
These are some of Singapore's most famous and tantalizing ambassadors. And every day, the alluring aroma from the Pavilion's outdoor food kiosk draws many famished fans to its doorstep.
Well, they say if you can't take the heat, don't enter the kitchen. Well, I know I can take the heat. I'm Singaporean. Maybe the Shanghai summer is very hot, but here I am. So this is where I am. I'm going to learn how to make kueh pie tea. And Chef Stanley will, well, show me. He's my 师傅 today. 师傅请吧，示范。
我这个给你看一下啊。
哦，就这样。OK， 看起来不很难吗？
不会很难。试试看。
那么你们在这边做新加坡食物呢，材料都很齐全吗？可以都买得到吗？
不是的，不是的。我们提前了2个月过来上海找这些原材料，也是蛮辛苦的，因为有很多东西在这边没有。
例如呢？
例如说斑斓叶啦、沙律啊，还有南姜啊。
Next up on the menu, the signature local dish, laksa.
我试它汤，最重要是它汤。
对，
我试一口。
还行吗？
哎，蛮辣的嘞。 跟新加坡的一样，跟新加坡一样。不过我想问的就是，因为这边大多的人都是外地来的人，
对，
那么他们吃的习不习惯？会不会太辣？
他们 OK 啊。其实我们的拉萨反应的特别好，我觉得很多游客他们都到过新加坡了，所以有些游客他们会特地看到有拉萨，他们都会蛮喜欢。
Besides being a food haven, Singapore's reputation as a garden city precedes itself, so crowning the pavilion is a tropical sanctuary. Designed by the National Parks Board, the rooftop garden boasts more than 20 different types of orchids. These national treasures are shipped in fortnightly from Singapore and are carefully selected for their ability to adapt to Shanghai's temperate climate.
This is our rooftop garden, and we have like 100 of tropical plants and 20 orchids here. Yeah. If you have an aerial view from the top, a helicopter, you can see the shape of the Singapore.
Oh, really? The garden's the shape of Singapore Island?
Yeah, this is in the shape of Singapore Island.
Well, I'm sure you get a lot of questions about, why a rooftop garden?
In Singapore, we have to build gardens on top of our high-rise buildings. And to showcase the energy efficiency, sustainability development, we have this garden on top of Pavilion in order to block the sunlight and to cool down the temperature indoors.
Right, I can feel what you mean by that. Apart from the water mist, having the plants around, it blocks the sunlight, and you have shade, and the rest of the building remains quite cool, so you don't have to use air conditioning, etc., etc., and plus the ventilation, everything works very well.
在这边我们就有 we have the 新户交响曲.
This is the Dendrobium Singapore Shanghai Symphony, the specially bred orchid for this occasion.
This 新户交响曲 is specially bred for this Shanghai 2010 Expo. And because this year is like the 20th year of good relationships between Shanghai and Singapore, so it's bred for these two purposes.
I felt quite prepared to take my turn at being a guide for the day. Conducting a tour for VIPs should be a piece of cake. That's until I was thrown a language curveball.
欢迎大家来到我们的空中花园。
对啦，
我是小林。
那么我是姓郝，不过我看叫我小郝就是有点不习惯，所以你叫我小兵，我名就是慧冰。那么今天我是你的客串导游，它品种是石斛兰，湖兰。
I seemed to be doing okay, but reciting botanical names in Mandarin was most challenging.
那么这个呢是。你们现在应该知道这个是很有名的，在上海应该最有名的，刚刚出名的，刚刚出名的胡姬花是我们新加坡特地送给上海的，它的名字叫新户交响曲。那谢谢你们今天来，那么有空呢到新加坡逛一逛，看看真正的新加坡花园是多漂亮的。
So I think I didn't do major damage to our reputation there. But my day at the pavilion was not over yet. It's an hour away from my cameo, and after a grueling crash course, it's time to put my dancing feet to the test. The item, titled Singapore Wayang, combines lavish costumes and dance movements from our 4 major ethnic groups.
It's about 15 minutes of show time, a whole afternoon of practice, and in 15 minutes we'll know.
15 minutes, you will know.
Yeah, we'll know. My moment of reckoning. I'm actually getting a bit of stage fright. My heart is beating. I don't know. Ramus is the costume designer.
This outer one, which represents the Peranakan.
Peranakan.
Yes.
Okay, but I think some folks at home might be wondering.
Yeah.
It doesn't look very Peranakan.
Well, it's kind of pastel-like, and we kind of fused, because Peranakan is actually made up of Chinese and Muslims, so we kind of fused the whole costume together for this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know there are 4 races,
yes, 4 races
that you're representing.
Right.
I saw the performance, and they look different, and yet there's a common theme.
Yes, it's a common theme. It's a common theme of Wayang. For the Chinese, we're using ochre, which is a red color, and Peranakan, which you can see is this.
A lot of pastels.
Yes, and the Indian is usually the peacock colors.
I feel very mysterious.
There you go.
Okay, it's not as heavy as it looks. it's quite comfortable, just except for this part.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing it's a 7-8 minute performance. Okay. Okay. Wish me luck. Shoes are a little big.
Dancing with the elaborate costume required a lot more coordination than I expected, and the pressure of performing in front of an overseas audience made it even more stressful.
Great. Very good. Yeah.
It was fast, but then I was very synchronized and all that. It was actually very fun.
That's good.
Okay, we need to get out of here. Shanghai summer. 39 degrees Celsius. Still got to get out of this. It's actually 45 inside. Okay.